Have you ever wondered why some people rise so high in life while others, no matter how intelligent, keep slipping back into old habits? What hidden force allows a person to leave behind distraction, laziness, and weakness, and climb into greatness? Today, I'll take you on a journey. Not of wealth, not of luxury, but through mountains, rivers, and villages where the secret of self-mastery has been guarded for centuries. And if you listen till the end, this story may just change the way you live every single day. In a quiet village on the edge of the Swiss Alps, where the morning mist wrapped itself gently around wooden cottages and the sound of flowing water filled the silence, lived a young man named Daniel. Daniel wasn't extraordinary by birth. He wasn't the smartest in his class, nor was he physically stronger than others. But he had one thing that troubled him: his inability to stay consistent. He would start tasks with fire and passion, but after a few days, the flame would die. He dreamed of passing the civil service examinations in Europe, not just for a career, but to serve and bring dignity to his simple village life. But every time he tried, to wake early, to study long hours, to remain steady, his habits pulled him back like invisible chains. One evening, sitting near a crystal-clear stream, Daniel whispered to himself, "Why am I so weak? Why do I slip every time I try?" It was then he heard an old voice behind him. It was Elder Simon, a monk who had lived for years on the mountain slope in a small stone hut. Simon was not a rich man, not a scholar famous in the world. But in his presence, people felt calm, as if even the air around him was trained in discipline. Simon sat beside Daniel and said, "Your weakness is not in your body, Daniel. It is in your will. You try to force yourself into discipline without first training your mind. That is like trying to make a wild horse pull your cart without taming it." Daniel asked softly, "Then how do I tame the mind?" Simon smiled, pointing at the waterfall nearby. The water flowed endlessly, not too rushed, not too anxious, just constant. "This is self-discipline," Simon said. "It is not running fast for a few moments, not burning bright for 3 days, but like this water, steady, patient, unstoppable. Self-discipline means controlling your impulses and desires with steady, patient effort, giving up small comforts so that you can build great strength. True discipline isn't about sudden bursts of energy. It's about quiet, consistent effort, the kind that doesn't stop even when distractions scream." The next morning, Simon gave Daniel a blank page and a small wooden pencil. "Write down 3 things you know you must change if you really wish to transform," Simon instructed. Daniel thought. He wasted hours scrolling on his old phone. He ate without control, especially late at night. He pushed aside studies the moment they became difficult. He wrote all 3 with shaky hands. Simon looked at him and said, "Your resolution is the seed of your discipline. A seed must go into the soil before it becomes a tree. That means you must write it, not just think it. Your thoughts are like water vapor. They disappear. Writing makes them rain, and rain makes rivers. Don't just decide in your mind. To trigger real change, write your resolution down. It enters the physical world and begins its power." "Now," Simon said, "don't try to fight all battles in one day. Choose one small victory, even if it feels almost laughable." Daniel was ordered to sleep without looking at his phone for just one night. That's it. At first, Daniel thought, "This is too small. How can this bring change?" But when morning came and he realized he had succeeded, he felt a spark. A single, undeniable proof that change was possible. Simon explained, "Small victories are like bricks. Lay one brick rightly, then another, then another. Soon, you will have a wall so strong even storms cannot break it. Begin with micro-disciplines. Small, consistent victories build unstoppable willpower." Days passed. Daniel followed little practices each day, sleeping early, cutting down his phone hours, studying 1 focused hour without break. But one afternoon, Simon took him to a nearby farm where villagers grew vegetables and grains. Pointing to the harvest, Simon explained, "Your diet decides the brightness of your mind. Heavy, oily, overly spiced food drags the body, and when the body is heavy, the mind becomes restless. But clean food, wholesome food, eaten in simplicity, it feeds clarity and sharp focus. From that day, Daniel began eating with intention. Fresh bread, vegetables, fruit, water from the stream. His restlessness reduced, his energy became steady. The purity of what you consume shapes the purity of how you think. One evening, Daniel complained, "My desires are too strong. Sometimes I want to give up studies and just waste time again." Simon caught a burning stick from the fireplace and placed it in the air. Smoke rose. Fire can burn the house, or it can light the lamp. Desires are not enemies, they are energy. If uncontrolled, they destroy, but if directed, they create. Every time a strong distraction arose, Simon told Daniel to redirect it. Walk by the stream, practice breathing, or immediately sit at the study table. Slowly, the energy of distraction became energy of focus. Don't suppress desires. Redirect them into higher actions. Daniel grew stronger in discipline, focus, and clarity. But Simon reminded him, "You are not just a mind and body, Daniel. You are a soul. Without connection to your higher self, discipline eventually breaks." Every morning and evening, Simon asked Daniel to close his eyes, repeat a simple mindfulness or prayer practice, not mechanical words, but heartfelt attention. Just 15 minutes of sitting calmly, breathing deeply, letting thoughts settle. This simple practice recharged Daniel's mind like sunlight on the earth. The noise in his head slowed, and he felt anchored like a mountain in storm. Consistency requires spiritual recharge. Meditation, prayer, or stillness connect you to a deeper source of power. After teaching all the principles, Simon gave Daniel a challenge. For 21 days, live with these disciplines, not perfect, but sincere. Daniel did. Week 1, he mastered 3 small habits. Week 2, he added 2 more. Week 3, he added 2 larger ones. By the 21st day, Daniel was no longer the same person. His confidence grew, his studies became sharp, his mind became calm. What once felt impossible, consistency, had become natural. Simon looked at him with a smile. "Now you understand, Daniel. Success is not winning once. Success is training your mind to win daily. That is true self-discipline. You may not live in Daniel's village or in the Swiss Alps or near a waterfall with a monk, but this story is for you. Ask yourself, what 3 habits are holding me back? Am I trying to do too much too fast instead of winning small victories? Do I purify not only what I eat, but also what I watch, read, and listen? Do I redirect my energy upward or waste it in endless distractions? Do I recharge daily by connecting with something higher than myself? Because if you do, then you, just like Daniel, can climb out of mediocrity and rise to mastery. If this story lit a fire in your heart, don't let it remain just as words. Begin your 21-day journey of self-discipline today. And if you want more such stories that don't just entertain but transform, subscribe to Kai's Mindset Mastery, where every story is a step towards your highest self. Your story of greatness begins not tomorrow, but now. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay inspired.